Some people are 24 hours of A Christmas Story people, and others are 24 hours of Scrooged people. In this house, we love them both, but give me the dark, hysterical, and kinda creepy Scrooged edge. By the way, no offense to the one guy who is a 24 hours of Deck the Halls person. Released in November of 1988, Scrooged was a modern, darkly comedic retelling of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, starring Bill Murray as Frank Cross, a powerful TV executive who is just a plain old bastard. And in classic Scrooge fashion, he's visited by 3 ghosts and a dead Michael J. Pollard. The film at the time had the highest test audience reaction for Paramount Studios, and audiences generally reacted positive towards the film, making it a modest hit in '88. However, critical reviews at the time were a bit more mixed. Some loving the tone, but others finding it too dark and mean-spirited. Even Murray and director Richard Donner clashed on the film, with both wanting different visions for the movie. And the writers Mitch Glazer and Michael O'Donoghue reacted negatively to the final cut. All of that I didn't know until years later, because I grew up loving this film for its humor, its style, and the rarity of making something fresh out of this story that's been told 100 times. So here are 10 awesome things about Scrooged. Number 10. Some movies give you 1 Murray brother, others give you 2 Murray brothers. Scrooged gives you all of the acting Murray brothers. Other than Bill, we've got John Murray. Remember Moving Violations? That one's underrated. Plus Joel Murray. Love and War reruns is one of the main reasons you should get Tubi TV. And of course, Brian Doyle Murray.
A choo-choo train?
No, it's 5 pounds of veal.
And a 5th Murray member may have been playing the veal. Number 9. While the movie has some awesomely creepy moments with the makeup, and Bill Murray is wonderfully over the top as the evil boss, it's John Glover's more subtle villain that walks away with whole scenes for me. Glover plays Bryce Cummings, an ambitious LA TV assistant who is just as cutthroat as Murray, but does it with a smile on his face and pretending to be your best friend as he secretly wants to steal Murray's job. There's little lines he has that aren't really even jokes, but my mom and I will quote them anyway.
Great, yeah. I'll have the California health plate. No dairy in that, huh?
No reason to quote that, we just do, a lot. Sometimes a line just clicks with you. Speaking of evil, let's go to number 8. This was Murray's first leading comedy role since Ghostbusters 4 years earlier, and boy did the original posters want to remind you of that. The hell, this doesn't even look real. It looks like one of those Ghana posters. Bill Murray is back along with the ghosts, only this time it's 3 against 1. Ah yes, Ghostbusters, great. I thought you were talking about Loose Shoes. The more famous poster is way better. With Scrooged, it was a fun direction to see his comedy roles go in, because we've seen the lovable schlub Bill Murray and the charming con artist Bill Murray, but in Scrooged, we get to see straight up dick Bill Murray.
Honey, how many fingers does Mrs. Santa Claus have here?
11?
Right. It's crap. Lose it. I don't want it on the wall.
Whether it's stealing cabs, firing people at Christmas, getting the censor inadvertently injured throughout the movie, or screaming at meetings, it's a blast to see him embrace the cynical hell boss dickhead role with no F's given. Even when someone tries laughing at his antics, he looks like he wants to kill them. Number 7, the soundtrack. While it had a decent hit with Al Green and Annie Lennox's cover of Put a Little Love in Your Heart, which spent 17 weeks on the US charts, it's the Danny Elfman score that always stood out, which is not only memorable, but instantly tells you there will be ghosts and good makeup effects in this. Eventually, Elfman's score was released, but with only 3,000 copies. Track that down, it's worth it. Number 6, the movie is cameos galore. With it taking place at a TV studio, naturally you'll see bit parts from actors playing themselves in TV productions, but even outside of that, there's great blink and you miss them roles. Richard Donner directed the film between Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2, and look, there's Nick Murtaugh, Captain Murphy, Dr. Woods, there's Lethal Weapon 2's Jack McGee. Wait, never mind Lethal Weapon, there's Paul Schaefer and Miles Davis. Plus, did I mention the Murray brothers? The movie even has cameos from props. That's Jesse Ventura's gun from Predator, and it has cameos from other lines.
Feed me, Seymour! Feed me!
And then Steve Martin drilled his teeth. Number 5, the makeup and special effects work is gross, twisted, and should stand side by side with the horror films of the time. Not only is so much love and detail put into these effects and props, but they get so creatively random with them.
May I?
Yes, I'm laughing, but I'll probably have nightmares. The makeup was so good it got an Academy Award nomination for Tom Berman of Halloween 3 and The Goonies, and Barry Dryband Berman, also of The Goonies. They lost out to Beetlejuice, and yeah, I'll allow it. Number 4, you can't have a great Christmas Carol adaptation without standout ghosts, and in Scrooged, all 3 of them give scene-stealing performances in wildly different ways. From David Johansen's cigar-smoking, drunk-looking ghost of Christmas Past cab driver,
Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel,
to Carol Kane's seemingly sweet ghost of Christmas Present, who then spends the next few scenes beating the shit out of Murray, and even tearing his lip in one moment for real, which stopped production for a handful of days. The ghost of Christmas Future is great too, while never saying a word of dialogue, but he's an imposing figure, which leads to the movie's scarier moments, like Frank terrified he's about to be burnt alive in a coffin. And this perfectly segs into number 3, the cinematography. The film's director of photography was Michael Chapman, who also shot Taxi Driver and The Lost Boys, and between the camera work and set design by William T. Garden and Nancy Patton, each sequence has its own unique vision and style, from the skyscraper offices at the TV network, to the TV sets, to the locations through the 50s and 70s, to the very cold-hearted future, showing how Frank's hatefulness has rubbed off on others. And there's the bleakness of Frank seeing his own lonely funeral. Throw the soundtrack on top of it, and this is a Christmas comedy that's ambitious in every department. But I gotta get into the acting some more, because at number 2, it's Karen Allen's warm-heartedness and likability that really works great off of Murray's cold cynicism here. Plus, these two have fantastic chemistry together. When we see Frank and Claire's relationship in the past, they really do seem like a young couple in love, and they're so good in these brief moments that it's genuinely sad when we see them break up due to Frank's obsession with his career.
Claire, for Frisbee the dog.
Even later in the film, when it looks like they might rekindle their relationship, it's still too early in Frank's arc that he still messes it up, and both of these actors are perfect at making you believe they've had this up and down rocky history for decades. But my number 1 reason for Scrooged being awesome, the fake TV shows and movies. The film takes place at the fictitious network IBC, with the hilarious slogan, "You'll love it." And we get a lot of glimpses of what their programming is like. Most famously, the movie opens with a holiday action movie called The Night the Reindeer Died, where Santa's workshop is taken over by terrorists, and only Lee Majors, as himself, can save Santa.
It's Lee Majors!
Whenever I see any kind of Santa Claus action-type movie, my mind instantly goes to The Night the Reindeer Died. But outside of that, through the whole movie, a live TV broadcast of Scrooge is being rehearsed. And what? A Buddy Hackett Christmas Carol with the Solid Gold Dancers and Mary Lou Retton? I'm listening. When the commercial for it is rejected, look at the one Frank makes.
Freeway killers. Now, more than ever,
It is important to remember the true meaning of Christmas.
I would watch a TV special based on that commercial. Oh, by the way, the commercial is so disturbing, it literally kills a woman. And what is this Robert Goulet Christmas special where I think he's gonna be eaten by an alligator? I love this network. Modern day Christmas specials could learn a thing or two from IBC. Although I think they have learned a little bit. The movie was ahead of its time and predicted live TV musical adaptations. Thankfully, over the years, Scrooged has gotten the love and respect it's deserved. Entertainment Weekly called it the most underrated Christmas movie, and Empire and Time Out placed it on their lists of the best Christmas movies of all time. It's interesting to read about how much was cut from the film, which makes me want to see an extended cut out of curiosity to see what the script was like. It's a movie where you can laugh, be creeped out, marvel in the filmmaking, set design, and score, and have a scotch and watch a golf ball fall out of John Forsythe's head. And don't forget the staples.
Have you tried Staples?
Staples?